Now we'll move to the most important concept, that is verb. A verb means doing something, usually doing something. I'll give you some sentences and I hope you can find the verb in these sentences. Sentence number 1, he went to Lahore. So think of an action in the sentence. It is went, yes. Sentence number 2, most people like dogs. Here it is like. The moon rises at 7. It is rises. This means usually we use a verb to talk about an action. Each day we use thousands of verbs in our speech. Goes, comes, laughs, sits, sitting, talking, managing, eating, all these things. This means a verb is mainly used to talk about an action, but that is not all. There are some verbs which show a state. For example, he is a doctor. Now, is here is a verb which doesn't talk about any action. It is showing a state. Sometimes a verb is used to show a change of state. For example, the boy became an artist. This is not an action. This is a change of state from a simple boy who was not an artist into something who was an artist. The verbs in English, they are divided into two main categories. We call them main verbs and helping verbs or auxiliaries. And the auxiliaries are further divided into primary auxiliaries and modals. Primary auxiliaries are to do, to be, to have. And modals are may, might, can, could, should, must, have to, ought to. These are commonly used and I hope you use them in your daily life. And main verbs are many. Main verbs are, they have certain qualities. Like if you want to change them into past form, sometimes the shape changes with the help of ed. We call them regular verbs. Smile, smiled, talk, talked, name, named. These are the regular verbs. And then there are irregular verbs which either don't change the shape at all. For example, cut, 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 put, 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 hit, 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 or they take a different form. For example, catch, caught, caught, go, went, gone. You know, verb is basically used to show the difference of time. If you want to say something that happened yesterday, you cannot say, you cannot use present verb. You must use past verb. For example, I went there. You cannot say, I go there. I went there, because you're talking about an action that took place in the past. Verb is very important part of speech, and sometimes you just say one word and this is the whole sentence. And what is the word? It's just a verb. For example, sit, stand. You say shut up, but you say sit because you think it is conveying the whole message. These verbs have got certain features, like they take negative form. For example, he plays, he does not play, he is coming, he is not coming. So this negative form depends on the main verb tells you what sort of helping verb is going to be used. For example, playing, ing, tells you it should be is form, he is playing. And then these verbs, they take question form, he is playing, is he playing. Now we'll discuss these helping verbs. As I've already told you, they fall into two different classes. We call them primary auxiliaries and modals. First, primary auxiliaries. They can be used as main verbs as well as helping verbs. First, I'll use them as main verb. For example, he is a doctor. Is a main verb here. He has some books. Again, it's a main verb. But look at these sentences now. He is writing a letter and he has done his work. In these sentences, is and has are used as helping verbs because the main verbs are writing and done. These verbs have their past forms and present forms. and can also be used in the future with the help of will or shall. Past form, for example, he's writing a letter, that is present form. He was writing a letter and he will be writing a letter. And he does his work, he did his work, and he will do his work. Now we'll move to the modals. First thing, they're not modals, they're modals, and the spelling is M-O-D-A-L. We use them to show ability. For example, can, could. I can run. He can talk for a long time. They're also used for possibility. How? He may come. They can also be used for permission. May I come in? Yes, you may come in. And they are very commonly used for obligation. Should. Should shows weak and mild obligation. This simply means if you do something, it is good, and if you don't do that thing, it is bad. For example, you should help the poor. And then there is a strong obligation, must. They have got the features like they also take negative form, positive form, question forms. For example, you must work hard, you must not work hard, must you work hard, you should go there, you should not go there, should you go there. And they do not take ing form, remember. They don't take s form like he goes. We can't use s with these modals. And then they don't change to past form with the help of d or ed. And they've got their short forms, contracted forms. For example, should not becomes shouldn't, might not becomes mightn't, must not becomes mustn't. Now we'll move to the concept that is adverb. Adverb means something which adds to the meaning of a verb. Look at the words like tomorrow, once, badly, there. These are all adverbs. Adverb is used, usually it is used to qualify or add something to a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. First, adding something to a verb. He walks slowly. Slowly and walk, Slowly is a word which is telling us something about walk. And he is very tall. Very is being used with tall, that is an adjective. And then we use an adverb with other adverbs. For example, he behaved quite fairly. Fairly is adverb and quite is also an adverb. There are adverbs like adverbs of manner, place and time. You should know what to use, where to use. This is important. And you should know how an adverb changes into some other part of speech. For example, some adverbs, they look like adjectives, but they are not. Similarly, some adjectives, they look like adverbs, but they are not adverbs. For example, costly. Costly looks like, for example, happily, quickly, but costly is an adjective that means expensive. And then there are some people who might say fastly. Fastly is no word at all. There are different types of adverbs like manner, place, time, frequency, sentence, degree. But usually what we use in daily life, the manner, place, time, frequency and degree. There are different other types, relative, interrogative, but you should know which adverb is to be used in a sentence and where it is going to be used. For example, if you say he walks slowly, that's fine. But if you say he slowly walks, it is something like Urdu sentence being changed into English. It's important to know where to use an adverb. Similarly, there are some adverbs which have got which show some sort of negative quality. Negative does not mean something negative in that sense, in real sense. But what I want to say, the verbs like hardly, never, seldom, if you use them in the beginning of a sentence, then the verb has to be used in a bit different way. For example, look at these. One of these, never. He never talks to me. But if you use never in the beginning, you will say never does he talk to me. Got the idea? And then adverbs too have got comparative and superlative forms, doing the thing easily, more easily, quickly, and more quickly, most quickly. And then there are some irregular adverbs. Well, it takes better as comparative form and best superlative form, comparative degree. Badly, worse, and worst. Now we move to another concept, that is conjunction. Conjunction is used to connect sentences or to connect phrases and clauses. In our life, we keep on using the words, Urdu words, ya or something like this. In English too, we use the words like and, but, therefore, all these things. But you should know that in English, for example, if you say, I wanted to watch a match and I went to the stadium. These are two free sentences, but we join them with the help of a conjunction called and. But if you look at the idea, although I was not feeling well, after this you cannot use full stop, you must put a comma because the sentence is not complete. Although I was not feeling well, comma, yet I went to my office. Similarly, I did not want to meet him, therefore I did not go to the party. What I want to say, sometimes a conjunction that is called subordinating conjunction, we have to use them very carefully. What Pakistani people do, they start a sentence with because, and without completing the sentence, they put a full stop. For example, because I was not feeling well, full stop. That is not the idea. You must give complete sense. And the last idea is an interjection. Interjection is a word such as gosh, ouch, wow, which shows an emotional state or attitude such as happiness, delight, surprise, shock. And we use the words like alas, hurrah. And after using these things in speech, you should use an exclamation mark. In writing, there must be exclamation mark. In speech, you must have high tone. Alas, or hurrah, we won the match. When you say alas, tone has to be a bit low. We use these interjections in our language too, and sometimes we pronounce English ones with the help of Urdu rules. Look at one commonly used OH. In English, no word ends with H, ha sound, but we say oh my god. That is wrong, it is oh my god. So that is all. I hope you learned quite a few new things, and I hope if you revise all these things and if you practice them, you will never forget these ideas, because that is very important. And if you want to become a good writer of English, if you want to become a good speaker of English, you should know parts of speech, you should know where to use, you should know how to use them. Thank you very much. That is all from my side.